Massachusetts. We're going to try a short live in the truck before it gets too dark. We normally start at 8 o'clock, but I'm going to start a little early so that hopefully we have enough daylight to get through at least a little bit of this. So we'll wait and see who pops on. Kind of impromptu. I know it's not the right time, and I apologize. So we'll see if anybody pops on here, and we'll go from there. So hold tight. We'll see who shows up. Oh, we got one thumbs up, so somebody's here. Robert Daigle. Hey, we're gonna try to do a live before it gets too dark. So we're gonna see what we can do and try to do a little recap of the show, stuff like that. It was very, very hot at Boonville. I met a ton of awesome people. We had a really good time. I am very, very much looking forward to getting back to my wife and Richard and the boys and being home. So that's what we're looking for. Bud Cantor, how you doing, brother? I know we're here just a little bit early today. I'm trying to do this in the truck before it gets too dark, and while we still have some light. So we're gonna do it that way. Mr. King, how you doing, bud? We are in Nashua, New Hampshire right now, so I've still got about 2.5, 3 hours to get home. And I know it'll be way darker around 8 o'clock because it's cloudy. So just trying to get here and get a live done. I missed you guys. So we put a video up today, this morning I believe it was, of the Court King 1820. We did a 25-hour review on the machine. I talked with Court King. They were really awesome to deal with. So when I told him, I said, if I have issues with this machine, what do you want me to do? And he said, let people know. And I was like, well, do you want to know about them first? And he goes, if it's a really big issue, yeah. He goes, it'd be probably good to know about it first. But he goes, other than that, he goes, we're fairly open and transparent. He goes, you can let them know. So I put my list together that was in the video. I went and saw their production manager, and we went over all the issues. They're shipping or sending everything that I need to fix those issues. We're going to put them on our machine and make those upgrades and do some of that stuff. So we're going to really try to see how much more we can improve and refine this 1820. And I found some other things while we're at the show today. So we'll go through that. Hey, Tom, how's it going, buddy? Driving, so I won't see everybody's comments, but I wanted to go live. It's going to be too dark at 8 o'clock to do our normal live. I wanted to go over some of the stuff that I saw at the show. There was some new equipment at the show, and I didn't get video of it running because every time I went over it was not running. I do have a short clip of it sitting stationary, but Multi-Tech has made an X-knife splitter to go with a circle saw machine, so it will do larger diameter wood and send it through an X-knife splitter. And I got to tell you, it is absolutely fantastic. That machine is awesome. I just snuck on a few minutes ago, Daniel. I wanted to do a live early because we're driving home, or I'm driving home still, and I knew it was going to be too dark at our normal time to do it, so we're going to do this either until we lose service or until it's too dark, one of the two. Logger Jason, he was at the Boonville show. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I am early, Jason, and I appreciate any of you guys that are popping on. I'm driving home, so I'm going to be another 2.5, 3 hours before I get home, and it's going to get dark. So it's going to be dark before our normal live time, and I know Sunday is our live day, so I wanted to try to get on here and at least get as much as I could done ahead of time. The show was absolutely awesome. I met so many people that I had no idea were going to be there. I finally got to meet Tim and Sarah and his family from Neighborly Homestead. That was really cool. I saw Wise Choice Firewood, and I got a bottle of maple syrup in the back that I was given. It was really cool. It's fun. It's really fun. So I'm not really paying attention to comments. I'm driving. So I'm just going to kind of go through my thoughts on the whole thing and what it is. And if I should happen to see somebody's question or something when I look over, I'm not going to be scrolling through my phone or anything. I'll answer. You're kind of like right in my line of sight, so it works out pretty good. Robert said the maple syrup was for him. I think you're going to have to fight me for it. This is bourbon vanilla aged maple syrup, and I am really, really, really looking forward to trying that. So I think it's going to be some really good stuff. Yeah, we're early, Craig. It's going to be dark. I've got 3 hours worth of driving to get home still. I wanted to get a live in before it got dark because I know I'm not going to be able to do the whole hour for the normal time. So there you go. So in 10 miles, we're going to have to turn. But I wanted to make sure that we were at least going to get this live covered. It was really it was a fun and long weekend. It was really, really hot Friday and Saturday. Today was nice at the show. It was more comfortable for sure, but still very humid. I got to meet some YouTube channels that I had never met before. So I met Adam from Hometown Acres. Really nice guy. Talked to him. If you haven't checked out Hometown Acres, you don't know who Adam is. He is, I believe, an accountant by trade. And he started a firewood side hustle, and I guess you could call it a really big homestead project that he's been working on for a bunch of years. And talked to him for a little while, and it was really nice because he goes into what it takes to run a firewood business, and he really goes through the nuts and bolts and the cost associated with his projects. Some people say they're boring videos. For anybody that really wants to be successful in business, you really need to check out Adam from Hometown Acres. It's a really, really good piece of information, and he does an excellent job with it. So if you haven't, go ahead, check him out. He's a much, much larger channel than I'll probably ever be, but that's okay. I saw Chris and Kenny. They were down from Wisconsin. Chatted with him a bunch. It's always good to talk to Chris and Kenny. They're great guys. Again, saw Logger Jason. Saw American Country 716. I've got a brand new hat in the back that they gave me, so thank you very much for that. And I think their sticker helped sell the Enduro blocker. So I went over to Cord King, and he said, hey, there was a guy here. He wanted to put his sticker under your sticker on the Enduro blocker. And I told him, sure, yeah, go ahead. He said he was so excited. So I took a picture of it. I'll be sure to put it up and tag him in a post on YouTube at some point. But the Enduro blocker is sold. So I think you helped sell it. So that's awesome. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. And now this guy's got 2 channel stickers to watch a couple of great channels. So that's pretty cool. Our next event that we're going to is next weekend. Not this coming, but the next. Hickory, North Carolina, for the Wood for Warriors event. We'll be down there. We're going to go down, split, cut a bunch of firewood for the veterans. Going to be a good time. So I'm going to have fun with that. Again, for those of you that are just tuning in, I'm driving. I'm not really paying attention to the comments a whole lot. If I should happen to see it pop up, then I'll definitely answer you. But don't feel bad if I ignore you, because I'm not going to be scrolling through my phone. Timmy Poor, I just saw you pop on, buddy. We are driving home from Boonville. Had a really good weekend. The Cord King booth was very busy. Had a lot of action at the Cord King booth. We did a recorded podcast. We were supposed to have Andrew Easton live on the podcast. That did not happen. Our podcast platform crashed. We pre-recorded it, and then we went live again. So those of you that watched the podcast last night, you know that we were live. We thank you for tuning in and joining in. The podcast numbers continue to be pretty strong, so that's really cool. For those of you that didn't see, I broke a 3120 hot saw. We were going to go race some hot saws from New England Pine and Timber Company. Jan, the guy that owns New England Pine and Timber, he built a nasty saw. I mean nasty. So we ran what we could before I broke it. We're going to race them again at Bunyan. So when we go to Bunyan, we're going to have hot saw races. We're going to have a log splitting contest with TKP for accuracy and for speed, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And I'm hoping, and I'll be able to let you guys know in just a couple of weeks, we're going to have something brand new, never before seen, ever, to release at Bunyan. So I'm waiting. I've got to get confirmation. I've got to make sure that it's going to be able to happen. But if that's the case, we're going to have something brand new, never before seen at Bunyan to be released. So stay tuned for that. That could be something very cool. It's something that has been in the works for a while. So one of the other things we're doing when we go to Bunyan is K-Train's going shopping. K-Train's going to go buy himself a chainsaw. And I'm giving Kevin free reign to go buy what he wants within reason. And he's going to go to Husky, Echo, and Steel, and he's going to find what he likes, and we're gonna get Kevin set up so that he can learn to run saw. It's hot where I am too. Yeah, truck says 91 degrees right now, and it's 7:30 at night, so it's warm, very warm. So I don't know what Kevin will pick. I don't know if it'll be Husky, Echo, or Steel. I'm not sure, but we're going to let Kevin pick a saw. We're going to train Kevin. You're going to see something new on the channel. So I had a talk with a couple of different companies, and we're going to start putting safety a little more at the forefront for a couple of reasons. Not because I'm scared of what I do or because I'm not comfortable with the skill set that I have, but the channel is growing to the point now that there's enough watching that I've got to be cognizant of the people that are watching, and I'm going to start wearing chainsaw pants. You'll probably see me with a helmet with muffs, eye protection. You know, we're gonna have basic PPE at all times. So that'll be coming shortly. I'm gonna do some shopping around. I'll probably bring you guys along the way, and we're gonna work on the PPE stuff. I think it's important. I've had close calls over the years. Graham's had close calls. Kevin's had close. We just want every. All right, we should be back. Are we back now? I think we're back. Gone again. I better not be gone again. I'm trying here. I'm back. All right. There we go. My GPS frigged up the phone. This is why I don't like doing this stuff while I'm driving. But, anyways, we're back. So, PPE gear, we're going to take you guys, we're going to go shopping. We're going to try to make it cheaper and more cost effective for everybody. So, that's the whole thing with PPE. PPE is expensive to have good gear that fits nice and that is comfortable. We're going to try to take care of all of that. So, we'll bring you guys along for that when we do it. Next thing, we're going back home to a completely finished new wood yard. But while I was at Boonville, I got a call. We picked up 2 more restaurants to deliver to. So we just picked up another 100+ cord a year of restaurant wood potentially, as long as they're happy with what they get. We're going to get really busy. And I'm okay with that because we've got the processor, and we may have another processor coming as well. We've got a bunch of irons in the fire, a bunch of stuff going. So it's going to get really busy, really hectic. I'm going to try to do my best to do as much recording as possible. We're going to try to keep everybody going forward. It's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out and how it all works. But we'll see. If there's anybody on here that I missed at the show, I apologize. I met so many new people and so many people that I had never met before. I don't even know what to say. Everybody is awesome. That's all I can really say because they do a great job. It's amazing the Woodhound community and how they get together and how everything works. And I've also found out that I can't go try to check out anybody's equipment in anybody's booth anymore because everybody knows who I am. So it's I was trying to look at some new equipment that I had not really necessarily seen before, and everybody knows me now. I don't get to go anywhere without being noticed incognito. Last year when I went to Bunyan, I was a small enough channel still. Nobody really paid attention to me, which was kind of nice when I was doing stuff like that. But this time around, didn't work that way. So we checked out a bunch of equipment. I talked to some other manufacturers of equipment that have new stuff coming out that has not been released yet. And some of that stuff looks really, really cool. I got to see some sneak peeks and glimpses of that stuff. So looking forward to a couple of those things when they come out. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what's going on. Kenny, how you doing, buddy? We are driving home from Boonville, New York. We've probably got about 20 minutes or so, and we'll see how it goes before it's too dark. I will be at Bunyan as well. We will be there. I plan on getting there on Thursday, and we are leaving on Monday, so we will be there all 3 days as well. The hand split log splitting contest will be Saturday at the Typhoon booth, roughly around 1 p.m. Yeah, history in the making, Tim. If you own what's going on right now, buddy, I've had such a hard time to keep some things quiet. But once I know for sure that we can make it happen when they're going to be released, man, oh man, are we going to have some fun. I'm trying really hard to do some things for the Woodhound community that is going to help everybody in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I've been around firewood basically my whole life. I've sold firewood for half of my adult life, and I enjoy everything about firewood, and I want to make sure that whatever we do and whatever my name is attached to, regardless of what it is something that I can proudly stand behind and beside. Cord King has been excellent in helping me do that. When I did my review of the 1820 and I pointed out issues with the machine, they instantly said, hey, no worries, we can fix all that stuff. And I said, well, do you want me to put it in the video or whatever? Because the agreement that I have with anybody that I get equipment from and that I work with is that if there's a problem with a machine or if there's something that I don't like, I will give you first stab, first refusal at fixing it, and then we'll go from there. So I really enjoy that part of it. Yadkin, you'd be a guy that I'd want to talk to for some of the stuff that I'm doing then, because I want to talk to the guys that have done this their whole life, that have been around it, that know it. I know firewood really, really well, and I want to make firewood easier and more fun for everybody, but even more so than that, I want to make it more efficient, and I want to make it easier on people's bodies. That's my goal. So we're working hard to get to that point. And when we get there, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I just really enjoy what I do. And I had a guy, I had not met him before. He follows my channel. Um, I forget his name. I want to say it was Mike. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I talked to him, and he goes, man, you're just as down to earth in person as you are in your videos. And I got thinking about that. About 4 years ago, probably, I really started to try to work on myself, and it's been a work in progress. It hasn't been until probably the last year and a half to 2 years that I've really pushed to work on myself. I used to be somebody that struggled with anxiety, that struggled with making everybody happy all the time. And I made it a point, and I've brought you guys along for some of it. I want to find the positive in everything possible. And I want to try to make sure that you guys see that there's something good in everything around you. And that's why I talk about men's mental health. That's why I talk about my faith and my religion. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. 110% absolutely I am not. I am far from perfect. But I'm trying every day to be better, because it's not just for me anymore. I've realized when I go to these shows, the amount of people that come up and see me, the amount of little kids that watch my channel with their parents or with their grandparents. I met Killian, I think it was, Wise Choice Firewood, their grandson. Killian's going to be a lumberjack. I can tell you that right now. Killian knows his firewood. He's just a little guy, but I'm telling you what, he's got a passion for firewood. And I would love more than anything to be able to help cultivate that in the younger generation, so that we've got a whole bunch of Killians coming up. So, those are the things that get me excited. I'm getting older. I won't be doing it for forever. The things that I need to do for firewood now need to be so that I don't have to do it all with my body, so that I can do it with machine, so that I can do this for more years to come. It's all of that stuff that I'm working on, that I'm trying to do to make it easier for everybody, but I also want to make it cool for somebody like little Killian, who when he sees that stuff, or like Tim and Sarah's boys, when they see that stuff, they get excited, and they know it's okay for them to go run it. So I want to make stuff that's going to involve the whole family in firewood. Firewood can be a family project, and it can be fun for everybody in the family if we make it efficient. So that's what I'm after. I still like the biggest and fastest thing out there. You can give me a hot saw, you can give me my all wood log splitter, and you can give me a cord of wood and say, let's race, and I'm gonna drop my head and I'm gonna go as hard and as fast as I can. That's ingrained in my DNA. But I want to help. That's what I'm after. I want to help that next generation. I want to help that family that wants to start a firewood business. I want to help that father that's looking for a business for his son that struggles with school. I want to help find a point and purpose for that stuff. That's what I'm after. So the stuff that's going to be coming up, with the things that you're going to see change, one, with the PPE gear, two, with the other stuff that we're working on coming up, and three, with all of the other things that we're doing with the podcast, with traveling for different charitable events, all of that stuff. We're going to try to include children in that as we go. They'll work that hard, yeah, Kim. I thought the same thing as you. I tell you what, I was exactly the same as you until this weekend. I saw some kids walking around, and if you could have saw how excited they were about firewood. I got a picture of a little boy that has my Willey's Firewood sticker on his shirt, and that kid wasn't no more than 2 or 3 years old, and he absolutely 110% loved stacking firewood. He stacked firewood the whole time he was over at the Cord King booth, and if I split more kindling, he stacked more kindling. The kid was awesome. I got my picture taken with him. I hope that he has a copy of that picture. We sent it to him. It's that type of thing that's going to make all the difference in the world, and it's our job as people that have channels like this, people that have Facebook, social media influence status. It's that stuff that's going to make the biggest difference in the world. and it's that stuff that I want to capitalize on whenever we possibly can. Um, I wasn't going to go live, Jack. We're riding home. It's getting a little dark, but I wanted to get on here and I wanted to give a recap of kind of what I saw at the show and what was going on. It's going to be really awesome. Yadkin, having somebody like you, because of your personality and because you're so good of a human being, is absolutely going to help any kid that wants to get into this. And that's the thing, guys. If you guys are at an event and you see a kid and they're there and they're helping and they want to help, involve them as much as you possibly can. Give them a purpose. Give them a point to be there. Give them something to do. We need to work on that next generation that's coming up. I had somebody reach out. It's actually a neighbor from the new house that we're moving into. She's got a 13 or a 14-year-old son that's looking for some work to do. He wants to work. He wants to work hard. He thought of Firewood, and he said he would like to do Firewood. So that's what I want to do. It's one of those deals where I'll provide wood for him to stack, or I'll find something in the wood yard for him to do, because if he's willing to put in the work and he's willing to try, I want to use him. So we're going to find something for him to do. I think it's really, really, really important, and I'm going to try my best to put a lot more of that effort in. So the PPE gear, when you hear us talk about that, that's because Richard's watching what I do. And just because I've done it that way and I've never gotten hurt doesn't make it right. That's a hard thing to deal with when you're a parent. Because I'm set in my ways just like Grant is. My wife called me out on it when I trained her in her chainsaw running video. I told her she had to have chaps on. She said, why? You don't wear them all the time. And that's really struck and resonated with me, because she's absolutely right. I don't wear them all the time. It's just one of those things where certain things I think about and I kind of go through it in my head and I'm like, I messed up. And with the PPE stuff, I've been messing up for a while, so we're going to try to get better with it. We're going to try to do a little bit better with it. It's going to be fun. So it's going to be a good time. Tim and Sarah are awesome. And I met Tim's dad. So Tim's dad is really cool. I really enjoy talking to older guys. Tim's dad is really awesome. I met him, talked to him for a long time. He's a guy that you can talk to, and he knows so much. They've got a hydraulic repair shop, and I said, well, if you guys got a hydraulic repair shop, why are we buying splitters from somebody else? Why aren't you guys making your own splitter? And he's like, we've got the parts. He goes, it just comes down to time and how we make it work and all that stuff. And he goes, it just never really panned out. So it's one of those things. Always been a fan of do what you want and let people be who they are. But with the PPE stuff, watching my wife's video, watching all that stuff go on, it's time to make a change, and I've got to start being a better role model and example for the people that are watching my channel. I know there's plenty of you guys out there that don't wear chaps and don't do all your PPE gear, and I understand that, and I will not promise I will not treat you any different because of that. But I need to start setting a better example because of the platform that I have to get the youth interested and keep them safe at the same time. So we're going to make that change. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time with it. But one of the things that I saw, I've said 5 or 6 years ago, the first person to come up with an X-knife splitter on the multi-tech firewood processor is going to be ahead of the game. Yep. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. So Scott from Wise Choice just said that we were talking about Killian and safety and stuff like that. And that's the thing. If a little kid is interested, we need to keep him safe. It's one of those deals. It's our responsibility. And when I saw how excited Killian was about Firewood and about helping his grandfather, and when I saw Tim and Sarah's kids and how excited they were about helping, that kind of tugged at me a little bit. It's just, it's one of those deals where we get stuck in our ways. It's, yeah, if you can send me the video you took of the X-Knife, Mike, that would be awesome. I did not get a video of it running. I did not get over there. There was so much to do and not enough time. The show was really, really busy. I had a lot of fun, but it seems like the shows get busier and busier and busier, and as they get busier, we just, we do what we got to do and we make it happen, but it's not the easiest way to go about it. We had to record some podcasts while we were there. You try to go to dinner with either customers or with vendors to get caught up and figure out what's going on, because you don't get together a whole lot. So that stuff there, that plays a big part in all of it. It's just, there's so much that goes on, and we don't really realize or necessarily see, I guess, just what, yeah, that's not going to work. Just what's going on with all of it until it's too late. There we go. If I do that, you guys can see me. Yeah, Tim, you're absolutely right. And I got to tell you, it was meeting with your kids and with Killian from Wise Choice Firewood, and listening to my wife's words echo in my head about how I don't wear it all the time. I've got to do a better job. There's too many eyes on me now, and for me to do it the wrong way doesn't make it right ever. Even if I'm as safe as I can possibly be and I never get hurt, I'm not setting an example that I want to set. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna try to get better with it. So for those of you that have young kids and stuff, that watch the channel and that follow along with this stuff, there's gonna be some stuff coming up, and we're gonna have some ability for you guys too. But Paul Bunyan's going to be fun. Paul Bunyan will be a good time. Hopefully we have our PPE nailed down by then. That's what I'm going to try for anyway. We want to try to get set up. And I think you're going to see that when we do this, it's going to make a difference in who helps with our channel too. So I talked to a guy about insurance and stuff like that, and because of what we do and how we do it, it's really important that we have the PPE, because if we want any sponsorship or if we want any help from those companies to help pass along to you guys, we have to use it too. Not just sometimes, all the time. So I'm going to ask you guys for help. I don't want you to be nasty about it, but if you see me in any of my videos starting on Wednesday, from Wednesday forward, if you see me on any of my videos and I don't have hearing protection, boots, and or chaps if I'm running a chainsaw, I want you to call me out on it. Just put a police car, safety police, whatever, in the comments. Hold me accountable to it. It's going to be a learning experience for me, because I'm not good about wearing my PPE gear. I'm not. So, put it in the comments, leave it there so that I can be held accountable for it. This is going to be a group effort. It's going to take me a little bit of time. Probably going to slip up once or twice. It's going to be okay. We're going to get there. The Cord King 16-way wedge that I thought was coming home with me from the show is for a 34-ton machine. My machine is a 20-ton machine, 29-ton machine, so it's not big enough. Oh, Kenny with the Canadian Super Chat. Attaboy, and thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. That'll be some gas money for the ride home. And thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate that. So Tim and Sarah said that they'll try to do the same thing too. I think as a group, it's our job to try to keep our kids safe, try to keep other people's kids safe. I didn't realize how many kids watch this stuff. So, Scott, you asked about chaps for kids. I don't know about chaps, but I know they make children-sized chainsaw pants, and I'm going to be working on some of that. So that's some of what I'm doing. I've already talked to a couple of suppliers at the show, but I'm going to talk to Saw Supplier too because I want to see what they can do. I know Saw Supplier is really good and works on making sure that everybody has what they need and that everything's good to go. Oh, there's another super chat from Robert Daigle. All right. That's probably the gas I need to get home right there. Thanks, boys. So I want to make sure that if the big guys have it, the little guys can have it too. So I'm going to even try to work on getting a hard hat and all that stuff set up so that the kids can have hearing protection built into a hard hat with a face shield. So if we want to start training our 8, 9, 10-year-old kids how to run chainsaw, we have safety gear for them. I want to start working on that stuff. I want to start involving the youth. When I say help somebody if you can, and a little bit every day goes a long way, a little bit every day would be making sure that we get the safety gear set up so that it's comfortable for the kids and they enjoy it, whether it be bright colors or, an American flag scheme or, something that's going to draw the kids' attention to it. That's what we want to do. Holy smokes, look at that. Dennis Rexford with a super chat. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So I want to be involved. So if for whatever reason some PPE gear company sees this and you're watching this and you do chainsaw PPE and you guys can tag whoever you want in any of my videos or posts, I want help to develop a line of PPE for kids. That's what I want because I want to get kids involved in Firewood. So one of the things that I want to try to do is when we do Gramps Firewood Cupboard, I would love nothing more than to get a whole bunch of families and their kids in the wood yard and working. And I know that the liability of having kids in the wood yard is going to be a big thing. So that's why I want to work on this PPE. But you know what, guys? It's so important for us to get the youth involved. If we do not get them involved and we don't teach them what work is and what it's like to have to work for the things that we want, we're never going to make this happen. We're never going to make it happen. So I just hit rain on the way home. They said it was going to rain. We haven't had any. And normally I would be excited for rain, but I'm not. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I've got a wood yard that just got re-graveled, and they didn't roll and compact it yet. I was going to try to pick a compactor up, a big roller, a wheeled roller, and roll it tomorrow. This might make a mess. So we're going to have to check on the wood yard at some point tomorrow. But it's probably not going to be early because I've got a lot to do. A lot to do. But yeah, it's, for me, that was the biggest thing I took away from the show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. When I talk to all of you guys, it's so fun. I really enjoy what I do. I love Firewood. I love the Firewood community. I love the vendors. I just, I do what I got to do to make everything work for my business. But if I can make this work, I know it'll make my business easier too. So I wanna make all of this stuff work. Wise Choice says Andrew Easton was trying to convince Killian to have Grandpa buy him an Evo. That sounds like a great deal for sure. Yeah, so southbound's going into Boston right there, Kenny, and it's the end of the weekend. So everybody that came up to Maine and New Hampshire for the weekend is trying to get back to the city. So that southbound lane on 95 is packed, absolutely packed. Yes, if I roll it, it will pack better, but I needed to roll it before the rain, Bill, because if it rains on it too hard before you pack it, it's going to disturb it and turn it into mud. It's going to make a mess. So really, really, really not excited about the rain. Hopefully the rain holds off up home and we don't get too much of it. But yeah, it is what it is. I can't change it. So we'll have to deal with it and roll with it, and we'll make it happen. We're gonna go home and start putting wood in the new wood yard. So that's gonna be kind of fun. Start maybe laying it out a little bit so that we can see how things are gonna be. So that's gonna be kind of fun too. But it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of work. Um, let's see. I gotta pay a toll. Hang on, boys and girls. We're gonna say thank you to the toll person, whoever it is. I'm back in Maine, and I don't have an Easy Pass. My Easy Pass, I left it in my wife's car, so it didn't work very good there. But now we're stopped a little bit, so I can at least say, hey guys, how's it going? But yeah, no, the show was a lot of fun. I really, really had a good time. Boonville is probably as big of a show size-wise as the Bangor show, probably about the same size. That and the Vermont show, the one that alternates between Bangor and Vermont. I don't think it's quite as big as Bunyan. I know the traffic for the social media influencers and stuff like that is not as heavy. Good evening.
Hi.
So, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You see that? I said thank you and smiled, and she didn't know what to do. She just grinned. That's it, guys. Be nice. Be kind. It's okay. I don't know, guys. I'm excited. I am. I know that I bit off a big chunk trying to do this PPE gear and trying to get PPE gear for kids and stuff set up, but I'm excited about it. I think that this could be something really good. Do I think there's a huge market for it? No, probably not. But do I think it's worth it? 100%. Yeah, they always kindly take your money, Adkin. They pay you to ride on the roads that you pay taxes to fix anyway. I mean, don't get me started on government. It is what it is. So yeah, had some good food. Met some really cool people. We went to a restaurant in Rome, New York. Really nice little restaurant. Had some really good pasta and steak and things like that. And we met a couple. Alan, TKP, said grace before we had dinner. And the lady got up, came over and tapped me on the arm. She said, excuse me. She goes, do you guys do that every time? I said, what, say grace? She says, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, pretty much. She said, that was really beautiful. She said, thank you for doing that. And I said, you're welcome. I said, that's the way it should be. So it's one of those deals where we got to lead by example. And I guess that's the biggest thing that I took away from the show this weekend. Aside from all of the equipment and all the awesome people and everything else, is with what I have for a platform and with what I do, we have to lead by example. So, Scott, I saw your comment about the good choice with the PPE. I think so too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure it out. And we're gonna get Grant some chainsaw pants and stuff like that, and we're gonna find what's comfortable and what works for everybody. That's the number one key. Whatever anybody is wearing has to be comfortable. If you are not comfortable when you're wearing your PPE gear, you get different gear. That's it. It's a really big thing, and that's something that you've got to really be aware of. PPE can be just as dangerous as it can helpful. I won't need help to get chaps on Graham. He had winter chainsaw pants when he worked in the woods that he wore. But I think if we get him something comfortable, Graham will wear them. And I don't think that he'll balk at it. When I tell him why I'm doing it and why I want to do it, he won't balk at it at all. I think he'll be all for it. Because Gramp has said all along that we need to make sure that the kids stay involved and all that stuff. And I know he gets really excited when Richard comes out in the yard and he does stuff to help us and to work with us. So I don't think we'll have an issue with Gramp. But I want Grant to be comfortable. I'm going to give him multiple pairs from multiple vendors, and we're going to find what's most comfortable for him. I already know he does not like chaps. He's not going to wear chaps. I don't like chaps, but I'll wear them if that's all there is. But I think a chainsaw pant, a really good, comfortable chainsaw pant, is going to be so much better than chaps. That's just my opinion. Chainsaw boots, probably going to look at like a Hikes boot. Hikes makes a really good chainsaw boot. We're gonna look at all of that stuff. We're gonna do all of that stuff to try and make it better. You know, that's the whole thing, guys. If I told you how proud I was, I guess, that many people wanted to come talk to me and ask me about the woodyard, or ask me about Gramp, or ask me about Kevin. It's pretty humbling, very humbling. Have a good night, Dennis. Appreciate you. Uncle V, a pair of chainsaw pants for your birthday sounds like a fantastic present, my friend. That sounds like a great present. So good on you for that. Chaps are hot. So the chainsaw pants, the clogger pants, are ventilated. Plus they have custom stretch panels built in. So some of these pants are made for arborists that go up in trees. So they're very flexible, they're very lightweight, and they're comfortable. And like somebody said back in the comments, I didn't see who it was because I'm driving, they look like blue jeans. There's some that look like an American flag. There's, there's all kinds of stuff like that make a big difference, and it's just important. So Clogger, Clogger, makes a really nice pant, but I have not tried them all on yet, so I'm not going to recommend anything right now. If you give me just a little bit and give me a few weeks, I'm going to try to get on as many pairs of chainsaw pants as many different manufacturers of chainsaw pants as I possibly can to find what's comfortable. Arborwear makes good chainsaw pants. Clogger. There's Arbor Tech. Oregon makes them. Steel makes them. Husky makes them. There's all kinds of people that make them. But I know that we said that. I know that we said we weren't necessarily worried about PPE gear and all of that stuff, but after being at the show, it's not for me. I'm not wearing the PPE gear for me. I'm wearing it for the next generation that's watching. Because just like Tim from Neighborly Homestead, or Sarah, whoever it was, whichever one of them typed it, you need to lead by example. So, yep, and Tim just said it. Tim said exactly what I do. He wears chaps occasionally and knows that he should more, but sometimes he doesn't. That's why I think if we get chainsaw pants and they're comfortable, it's really, really cool to see how that would work and the difference that it would make. I think it would be good for everybody. Oh, it was Sarah. Tim's driving. Well, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. So, and the thing is if PPE is comfortable, nobody's going to mind wearing it. So I put on a Protos helmet. I don't know what series it was, but the thing was like wearing the most comfortable hat that I have. And it has hearing protection and a visor built in. If it's comfortable like that, you're not gonna mind wearing it. It's not gonna be a problem. Some of the companies make bibs, or they make pants with the suspenders built into them so that they will go right up over you. So when you look online, look for the ones that have the suspender option, And it's like wearing a pair of bibs, because I'm like you. I don't like to wear a belt. I don't have a rear end, so my pants fall off me if I don't have suspenders. I need suspenders. I've got a belly, but I got no rear end. So I just, I think it's, I think it's gonna be, a good thing. I don't know. I don't know why the sudden change of heart or why I felt so much about it, but the only thing that I can attest to is that it was the kids that I saw. I saw probably 25 to 30 kids that were all under the age of 12 that were absolutely excited about Firewood, that were watching all the equipment, that were having a good time. That's the that's the next generation that's coming up. That's the next generation that's going to be doing this stuff, and it's our job to set them up for success. The only way that we can do that is to lead by example. So I just think it's really important. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are, but that's my soapbox, and this is my soapbox here with this. I get to you guys, and you guys get to listen to me, and some of you guys must like it because you come back. But I think it's I think it's really important. I do. I think it's super important. Um, it's I don't know. It's fun. Grant approved PPE. That's going to be part of it. That's going to be part of it for sure. Because if you've got somebody that has never worn PPE and they're wearing it, and they're wearing it on a regular basis, that's awesome. That's important. So those are the things that make the difference. Is that when you get somebody like Grant, who doesn't wear their PPE all the time, and who's not the best about safety, if they can do it, that's fantastic. So we're going to make sure that we can get something that's Grant approved. And I can tell you right now, if we get something that they say is Grant approved, whoever's company that is, and Grant says that this is comfortable, he likes it, he wears it, we're going to sell a bunch of them. I'm excited about it. This is nothing to do with equipment. This is totally to do with safety, and I'm very, very excited to be a part of this, because I think it's super important. I really do. I think it's super important that we do this. I'd like to be able to have a branded line that's the Woodhound line, whether it be through Clogger, Lavendale, ArborTech, Arborware, whoever. I'd like to have a Woodhound branded line that I can endorse, that we can sell, and I'd like to have a portion of the proceeds go to putting our youth either in PPE gear or into forestry of some kind. So that's my goal. That's my end goal. Um, I think it's important. I do. I think it's super important, um, and it makes my heart happy. It really does. The more I think about it, the more I talk about it, the more it just makes my heart happy. Um, I can be a big tough guy, but I can be a big softy too, and I like giving back, and I like being able to help. So it's really good. Yeah. So it's going to be fun. So that's my goal. Whatever we end up deciding that we like the best, I'm going to go to that company and I'm going to pitch them the same idea that I just pitched to you guys. And I think that it's going to be really, really fun. Um, so yeah, it'll be awesome. I can't wait. But it's getting dark. It's starting to rain. Traffic's picking up northbound. I'm not going to stay on a whole lot longer, but I'll stay on for a little bit. I'll probably stay on until I got another half hour or so before we got to stop for fuel and things like that. I appreciate those of you that did super chats. That's greatly appreciated. What I do when I travel right now all comes out of my pocket. I don't have vendors or anybody paying for me to travel to these shows and to do this stuff. I thought about charging for things like channel stickers and stickers for um, for the podcast, we decided to give them away. It's important to get the word out there, and even though there's a cost associated with it, I give almost every small kid that I see a channel sticker if I can find enough stickers. I had 250 stickers. I blew through those in a heartbeat. I'll need way more stickers next time, and we'll do whatever we got to do. But it's really cool. Yeah, Woodyard is a dangerous place, Tim, for sure. Absolutely. From home, Kenny, I am just over 2 hours right now. If I thought that the service would hold out the whole way home, I'd do a live the whole ride home. But not. I know I get into an area up here in about an hour or so that the service is going to drop off, and I don't want to. I don't want to keep jumping back and forth. Kevin, how you doing, buddy? So, Kevin, you just joined on, but we're going to be wearing something new in the Woodyard. We're going to start wearing PPE. So we're going to have hearing protection, hard hats, chainsaw pants, stuff like that, depending on what we're doing. And we're going to put safety first, because you wouldn't believe the amount of kids that came up to us at the show and we're asking for stickers and stuff like that, and we need to lead by example. So I'm going to start, and we're going to do a big safety pushing campaign, but we want to be really comfortable, so we're going to have really awesome safety gear. We're going to do all kinds of stuff to try to get kids involved, and we're going to try to get kids safety gear made, and we're going to have fun with it. Tim and Sarah, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. So it's, for me, I'm making it a mission to make safety a priority. And I'm going to do my very best with it. And I need you guys to hold me accountable for it, because I can promise you right now, I will slip up. I will. And when I do, I need you to say, hey, safety please, or PPE. You don't have to comment anything other than that. I'll know exactly what you mean. But it's important that we hold each other accountable for this, because it's going to be a changed and kind of a forced habit to change. It's just habit to just grab a saw and do what you need to do. Oh, I'm just going to make one quick cut. I'm going to make a couple quick cuts. No big deal. It's a big deal, because that one quick cut that you make, should you happen to have an accident or slip, like Tim said a minute ago, the Woodyard is a very, very dangerous place, and it only takes a split second. We should have some sort of PPE badge or some sort of branding that goes on this PPE gear. And look at that, Kevin. Cool, safety first. See how easy it was for Kevin to get on board with that? That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's how easy it is. Another toll. Hold on. Good evening. Can I get a receipt, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. So we talked about some things too at the show with some of the equipment vendors. There's not a lot of firewood education classes as far as firewood safety or equipment safety for firewood operations and things like that. What would you guys think about training programs, or a hands-on training program where you could go and learn about the safe way to do firewood and the safe way to operate chainsaws and log splitters and things like that, where when you were done, you had some sort of certificate or some sort of accolade saying that you had completed the course and that you had basic firewood safety skills. Because I'm going to be honest, I started watching some YouTube videos and stuff after I looked at this, and what I saw when I started looking through YouTube was that there are a lot of people that really do not know the appropriate way to run their equipment. And I'm guilty of doing some things wrong from time to time too. So this isn't to say that if you take this class you're going to be perfect, but it's going to give you some basic guidelines and some basic things that you can go by. It's I think it's a super important thing, and I think that we could do something at the events like Boonville, or at the events like Paul Bunyan, or at the Northeast Forestry Expo. Some of these bigger logging shows. Not only that, we could just do it in other places. If somebody had a group big enough, I mean, it would obviously have to be a paid class of some kind because somebody's time is going to be tied up. But I think if we did something like that, we have some amazing resources in our podcast. Mr. Clint that we had on, he teaches the game of logging, which is like the ultimate chainsaw safety and forestry safety course, as far as felling techniques, as far as chainsaw use, all that stuff. We have resources to do this. So these are all things that I've been thinking about. So when you guys saw me smiling and shaking kids' hands or giving kids stickers if you were at the show, my smile might have been a little bigger than what you expected because I was already thinking about this stuff. And I talked to a couple of people at the show. It's nobody that's in this live chat, I can tell you that right now. And I talked to a couple of people at the show, and when I kind of told them what I was thinking, they told me they thought it was a fantastic idea. And I want to make a positive difference, and I want to involve youth, and I want to try to give people skill sets that are useful and helpful. I watched guys splitting logs and running logs through firewood processors today. They were equipment manufacturers, and they weren't running the logs the way that your manual would tell you to run them, and they weren't running the logs through the splitter trough the way that you would be instructed to run them through a log splitter. It's really strange to see kind of what happens at these shows because everybody's just show me, show me, show me. How about we show somebody the right way and the most efficient way if we can? So that's kind of where I'm at. Nope, there's not much out there. You're absolutely right. Zach, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Now, I'll tell you, Zach Basso is one of the guys that could be involved in this. He's a young man, a teenager. He's out there working, doing stuff in the firewood yard. He's one that I would be wearing my PPE and my safety gear for, because it's important that we take a young man like Zach who's willing to work hard and who doesn't mind working hard with something like firewood, and we give him the skill sets and the tools that he needs to be able to do it efficiently and safely. That, for me, that's the biggest thing. So, not just that I'm a man in a shadow tonight and you guys can hear me talking. This is stuff that's truly been on my heart since this show. I think that we really need to as a group, and I think so. Wednesday, for any of you guys that are around Wednesday, I want to do the live chat Wednesday. I'm going to have a list of ideas and topics and things that I think would be well deserved and well received in this, and we're going to kind of go through it as a group. So even if you're not on this live chat now and you know somebody that should be involved with it, I want to make a mission for you guys to tag or to share with as many people as you can. So find me on Facebook if you're on Facebook. Look up Russ Willey, and I will put some posts out there. And I'm gonna do brief summary of what we've talked about all right here. And you can share it with friends. You can share it with people. Tag companies in it that you think need to see it, like Clogger or Arborware or Arbortech or any of these chainsaw safety companies, Hikes boots, Protos helmets, all of that stuff. Go ahead and tag them. Let's see if we can get them involved in the process. Let's see if somebody shows up. They may not even comment, but let's see if they show up and listen to what we're talking about. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to see. I want to see if we can get the attention of the people that really need to see this. So that's going to be our mission for the week, you guys. So when I get home tomorrow, we're going to do a short little safety clip, and I'll tag as many people as I know I can in it. Share that post. Share it with as many places as you possibly can, and let's see what we can make happen. So that's where I'm at. That's our goal for the week. Pinkway saw is a great saw, Zach. So I know a couple of channels that run the Pinkway saw, and I know Bert from Bert's Custom Cuts. He has a Pinkway that I think is ported. Pinkway is a good saw. They're thirsty, and they require a different gas and oil mix. So make sure you read your manual. I want to say it's 32-1, but don't hold me to it. Yadkin has a Yadkin just said Yadkin has a Pinkway. He can tell you what the fuel mix is, but I know it's not 50-1. Travis does Firewood. He has the one that's ported. There you go. I knew somebody did, Daniel, but I didn't remember who it was. You guys hear my voice is getting hoarse. I'm dry, guys. We had such a hot weekend. It was close to 100 degrees, I bet, Friday and Saturday, and we baked out in the sun. And it's been a long, busy weekend. So, yep, Chainsaw Jenna has a Pinkway too. You're absolutely right. So that's the other thing, guys. So when we start doing these safety videos, if you know any other big YouTube channels that you think could help push this along, I'm going to start tagging Buck and Billy Ray in some of my stuff and see if he pays attention. Because I know Buck and Billy Ray would be a good one to get behind this. He's got a big following. He's a great guy with a big heart. I want to be able to get some guys to push this forward. I think it's important that we push it forward, and I think it's a good thing. So, with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all the super chats tonight. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Wednesday, we're going to sit down. We're going to do our first brainstorm. It's going to kind of be like homework for a little bit. Our first few live streams that we have coming up, we're going to do some homework. We're going to make this work. I can promise you guys we'll make it work. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make it work, and we'll go from there. It's important. It's important, and we're going to have fun with it, and I can't wait to see what we come up with. So thank you so much, guys. Again, I really appreciate it. A little bit every day goes a long way. Help someone if you can. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Can't wait. This is going to be fun, guys. So help me spread the word. Help me share this stuff along. Let's do something awesome together that we can all be proud of every time we look out in the firewood yard. That's what I'm after, and I need your help. So we'll see you Wednesday. Thank you, guys.